Is love the meaning of life? Now, I actually mentioned this one in my last video, and I don't have anything written on my iPad like I usually do. It's just, is love the meaning of life? What do you think? Do you think love's the meaning of life? Let's talk about it. I'm going to sit here just for a little bit and then I'll go on my chair. But is love the meaning of life? And there's so much you can find so much on this in like old philosophy and what the fuck is that? And stuff like that. You can find so much in this in old philosophy that it's like materials don't matter. It's, having things to share with people. It's getting to share it with people and, connections with people and being satisfied inside and all this stuff, which is the meaning of life. And I truly I think it is one of the meanings of life. Wait, do I have something on my no idea. Anyway, um this video is like one of those that if I was in the element and in the kind of like right in the mind space and kind of thinking of this deeply and just in that mode, this could be one of those videos that it could be like an hour video on. Is that's not gonna be this. It'll be some minutes, probably my usual like five 5 to 15 minute type video. But is love the meaning of life? And I guess there's just a very baseline answer to this. And it's like, okay, think of what you want in life and think about how great all the things you want in life are and how much happiness they would bring you. Um, but at the end of the day, if you had to go through it all alone and never having anyone to be excited to show it to, or, anyone to kind of be your ride or die or come home to and kind of just be in your safe space, like, what would life be? Do you just keep walking forever? And some people like that. I think the answer is probably different for people. But it's just something that I like to touch on and just think about. Is love the meaning of life? Because I'm someone who hasn't been in a lot of relationships. I'm 20 years old now. And all through my school, I was never really popular with the girls. I was never even popular just like as a person. I wasn't a popular kid, but I especially wasn't popular with the girls. I maybe had like a couple dummy relationships throughout like all my school years. That's like elementary included, like all the schools just right up to high school. And I had like a couple dummy relationships that wasn't serious at all because you kids, you playing, and maybe last like a week or a couple days or some dumb shit like that, couple months at most. But I never really had anything serious. And like I say, I'm 20 years old now. I especially haven't had anything serious in way over a half decade. Well, I've never had anything like serious ever, but like I haven't even been in anything in well over a half decade. I don't even this is gonna sound lame as hell. I guess it is, but I'm just past caring at this point. Um, it's not something that I look for validation in. I'm happy with myself, but I don't even really have any girls to talk to, bro. Um, outside of my mom or my sister, I don't think I've spoken to like a girl regularly in like a good handful of years. Definitely a good handful of years, maybe even like a half decade. And even then, I say that, and it's like all through my life, I was never really one to always be in contact or always have something on the go. You know what I mean? I'm actually gonna bring my chair because I'm crouched right now and my foot is hurting. So let me just, damn. I'll be right back. Um, we're gonna put this actually. You know what? I might just put my iPad behind me, just because I don't want it to overheat. Heyo. So when I say is love the meaning of life, it's like I think about so much of these things. Now, look, I'm very, very set on my money goals in life and, making the money that I want to make and reaching the kind of status that I want to reach. Not because I rely on those things, not because they make me who I am, not because they are my identity, not at all. I'm long past that. That's child's play if you're kind of stuck on those steps. I've long done the self-development and the evolving and all stuff like that to know that these things don't actually matter like at all. Yo, did you see that? Bro, there's a fucking fly. Go away, man. Um Yeah, I'm long past like thinking that those things actually matter and knowing that those things they don't matter. It's just something that I would like to have, something that I enjoy in life. It's like I say, the things you can get with money, the big houses and the insane cars. That's just something I like. That's just as much a hobby to me as basketball is or hockey or whatever. To some people, I just love that stuff. But it makes me think like, is love the meaning of life? Because like we only get one go around. We only get one go around in this life. We get one life. And it's like if we exit without ever having found someone, or we never really found true love or someone to kind of be with, we know how, true love is supposed to be. If you just never really had that true love and you don't really exit with anyone or exit, being with someone, it's like, did we exit the right way? I feel like the meaning of life is you're supposed to find true love. You're supposed to hopefully find your true love and kind of whatever's afterlife. I believe there's something after life. I don't know exactly what, but I believe life isn't our only kind of, there's no way this is our only way of consciousness, because then what even is all of this anyway? So surely there got to be something after life. And I just think you're supposed to find your person in this one to go and travel like the next one with, or do whatever is you doing the next one with. And it just makes me think like there's been so many, because I was like a lonely kid through school, right? All my school years, I was always the one, like I say, if there was 12 seats on the bus and 13 of us, I was the one not getting on that bus. Um, and it just kind of made me think. So I kind of became accustomed to, and it became my default response to be like, I don't need anybody. Um, I can do this shit on my own. Like I've been doing this shit on my own. That's just how I know I'm happy with doing that. I don't fault it. I actually love it. It's very stress free, and you just got to look out for you, not in a selfish way, but just in a convenient way. And it's real nice. You can protect your own peace. So for a long time, my auto response to everything was just like, bro. And when people would talk about relationships and love, I'm like, oh, you're not looking for it. I'm just like, no, bro. If it happens, it happens, but it's not something I really care about. But as time's gone on, and I'm not like lusting for a relationship at the minute. I'm starting my personal brand this year. You're seeing it right here in the videos. I don't got time and I don't plan to be in a relationship anytime soon because I really have some nitty-gritty in all the work to kind of get to and set my career up. And a relationship amongst that would just be so hard to handle. But I kind of my auto response to everything used to just be like, bro, I've never really been one for relationships. I don't need relationships. Like, what is all of this? But then I often sometimes think about, when it gets close to Christmas, and I think about how nice it would be to have someone to come back to. Cause like I got my family to come back to, and that's always nice. But you know what I mean? It's like a different kind of love with like a significant other. Um, so sometimes when it gets near Christmas, I think about how nice it would be to come back and just have your significant other, waiting in a room for you, and you got some gingerbread and milk, cookies, whatever. Like put a movie on, get cozy together, just real Christmas vibes. I think about like further on in life, which obviously I'm very focused on. I dream of just the times ahead in life when even the little things, not so much the big days like getting together or anniversaries or weddings or whatever. The things that gets me the most excited and gives me that warmest feeling in my soul is when I just picture the simple days, like if I'm just, loading the dishwasher or just cleaning something up, and with the wife in the house and she's doing whatever around the house, and then we're gonna, oh fuck, did I just get bit? Like oh no, those are the ones that give me like the warmest feelings. Like when I think about like the wife just being in the house and doing whatever she's doing, and the kids being in the house, just kind of the responsible adult life, because I feel like it took me a long time to grow up because I never really got to I was always in like my own shut off kind of environment. So that's the stuff that excites me, and it just makes me think like all these things I get excited about, and all these things because I do you mind? What is that big ass plane? Anyway, it makes me think like I don't know if you can hear that. I'm gonna cover this just for 2 seconds. That shit is loud as fuck, bro. How is it still so loud? It's so far away. Can you hear it? I don't know. Man. Okay, I think it's gone. I think we're good. But it just makes me think about like I am aiming for, having like the insane cars and, the big house and whatever and just all that cool shit or multiple houses and just living this big money lifestyle just because that's what I like. I know it doesn't matter. I know I don't need any of it. I just like it. And that's what I want to live my life like. And it just makes me think like I'm obviously going for the money, going for the big houses. And it would be dope at first when you first get them, I wouldn't mind, being on my own and living all this, but it makes me think like, what if I get so many years down the line and it's not new to me anymore? It's still fun. It's still, I still have the love for it, but it's not so much new anymore. And just imagine if God himself came down and told me that I'd never have anyone to share it with and that I was going to be doing, all the work, all this work and these long days and doing all this amazing shit to just come home and it just be me in my home forever, you know? Obviously still having family and such, but family will be living where they live, you can't live with them forever. They'll be living where they live and you'll be doing different shit around the world and whatever. And imagine if like God came down and just told me that, look, you're gonna have all this that you're looking for, but it's just gonna be you in your house forever. You're never gonna have anyone to share it with. And it just imagine how empty that would make you feel. And then all of a sudden in that moment, it's like the materials, the materialistic things kind of just become irrelevant. And you're like, oh wait, you kind of realize how still they are. As to like you spent your whole life thinking they were so big and mighty and magnificent. You kind of realize how still in that moment they'd be and how lifeless they are. And not having anyone to share it with and having to spend them nights like by yourself. So it makes me just think, is love the meaning of life? You know, whatever you're going through, all the trials and tribulations of life and all the different stages and feelings and emotions we're at and events we can go to and memories we make and just days we have and just everything. It's like is we all know what it's like. I mean, like I say, I've never really been one to have much relationships, but or get in much relationships, but it makes me think like because I've been in them before, and you do kind of get that feeling when you're in a relationship, that fuzzy, fuzzy in the stomach feeling. Whether I know it's kind of just nerves and shit, but like if you've been in one, you kind of know the feeling of what it means to officially be like in a relationship with someone and to have that person and it be you two. Um, and that is truly one of the best feelings in life. It just makes me think like, is that the meaning of life? To find someone like how if you've had that feeling before, like I said, when you're with someone and you make it official and now it's like it's you two locked in, it's like that feeling you'll know when it's happening, bro. It's like that feeling is above all else and above anything, you know what I mean? That feeling is like number one. Um and it's kind of at the top of your mind, the forefront of your mind. And it just makes me think, is love the meaning of life? Because imagine we had everything we ever wanted, but no one to share it with. And, for the first few times you kind of think about this, you might think, so what? Because I know I did. I was like, look, I've been doing things. The hell? I was like, I've been doing things by myself. That's just how I roll. It's no issue to me. Like, what do you mean if I had no one to share it with? I don't care. This is for me. But it just makes you think, like, imagine your whole life now and you don't even realize how much you rely on human connection. Like, love, I mean, is love the meaning of life? It doesn't even have to specifically mean like your true love significant other. I just mean like loving things and loving people and loving being around even your best friends and just hanging out and creating memories and everything. Like, how much of this life shit, as much as it's a blessing, as much of it's beautiful, how much of it would get old, as magnificent as it is, as mind blowing as it is that any of this exists? How much of it would get old? Um, you know, how much of it would get old or how quick would it get old if we had no one to share it with and there was like no other humans around and we were just kind of like a lone wanderer? I feel like it'd be pretty sad. So, is love the meaning of life? Like, significant other is finding a significant other to really be your ride or die because you kind of realize that in life, you don't really have anyone truly except yourself. Or at least it like feels that way at certain points. You kind of realize that you're kind of always missing like a backbone. If you don't have love, it's like you're kind of always missing a backbone to where you feel like you always could fall over, or you're kind of always out just wandering on your own, and it's kind of like a soul journey. But you know that feeling of when you're in a relationship, it kind of feels like you always have someone to go back to run to about this question, to ask about this thing, to just go to for reassurance. Just these things. And it just makes me think, is love the meaning of life? Is that what we're supposed to do? I like I say, I felt for a long time like we're supposed to, in this life, live our life and ultimately find true love before we die and kind of be with that person. And then when we die, obviously, whether it be at the same time or distances apart or something, like our spots are reserved for us in the next one if we found true love and we go do that together. That's what I feel like. But it's the meaning of life. It's the thing that will truly bring you happiness and satisfaction. And when you're laying on that deathbed, about to close your eyes for the last time, is the kind of thing that you remember most and are most glad of, is that, finding love and finding your people, not the materials. Is love the meaning of life? What are we on right now? 15 minutes, 30 seconds. Okay, that's cool. But yeah, my point remains. Like I say, if you enjoyed this video, I mean, discuss in the comments because my original idea, I didn't really write much down on the iPad to kind of reinforce this video and back it up. Which is annoying because I really, really would have liked this is one I'll probably talk about it on a podcast one day when I'm up. And hopefully I can like bounce the ideas off of whoever I'm talking with and we can kind of talk more deeply into this. But I hope I kind of explored it a little bit for you guys. Um, if you like music, check out my music, especially if you're a music supervisor or a sync agent. If you like music, check out my music links in the pinned comment. You can buy my albums if you would like to support me. They're $1 each. I got 7 albums up. You can pay more if you want, just to help you boy out. There's no obligation though. Don't feel bad if you don't want to. It's totally cool. Subscribe. That is number one. Like and subscribe and comment. Your thoughts on the video. If you got any ideas of what you think the meaning of life is. Subscribe. It's completely free. There's no commitment. You can unsubscribe anytime if you want. If you didn't like me, you don't want to subscribe, that's completely cool. I'm cool with that. With that being said, I'm gonna end this video. Check the pinned comment for socials and music. Subscribe if you want to come back and chill me a couple times a week or just whenever. Cause I like to talk about life and just keep it real with you guys and kind of help us all get better inside and evolve inside. With that being said, I'm gonna end this video off because we were just past 17 minutes. I can see it from here. Yeah, is love the meaning of life? Take into account what I said and discuss below. I'll see you guys when I see you. Later.